My name is Marlies de Gooijer. I work at In10, and I'm going to talk to you about digital hospitality. So actually my title is not a digital transformer, but brand strategy director. So I'm going to talk about digital design from a brand perspective. I was thinking about the theme of today, and I strongly believe that when digital meets the real world, we enter the era that digital design really evolves around people. Because whether we're literally aware of it, had a discussion about echo, and the fact is that when digital is around us, people are gonna interact with it in everywhere and all the time. So we need to put people first in developing new products and services. At In10, this is our motto. Let's create what people want and what your business needs. That sounds like a simple plan, but nowadays a lot of our clients are pressured by performance targets, short-term goals. And at the same time, if you develop something that people really want, it's not that easy to create a business model around it because people's expectations are so high nowadays. And well, all the other speakers touched this point already. Everything is becoming digital. All brands are becoming digital because digital is all around us. And that means that the expectation of people are becoming liquid. Once you've used Uber once, you expect that same kind of intuition and service level and trust also in a brand. When, for example, you need medical care or you need to contact your insurance company. And even stronger statement is that when you're a brand in your domain and you're only digital, like Netflix, people value your brand higher than your competition. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have a better product or more content, but just the perception of digital means more value to people. And this is moving fast because the great companies, the great corporates are joining forces to take away exactly the fears we were talking about in the other presentations, so that people will embrace AI and really start living with it. And at the same time, you have to ask yourself how technology can really add value. And when you think of the business goals versus people's goals, how relevant is it to me that, for example, I visit Zalando, I see a pair of shoes, sorry, personal case, and I'm really chased by the same pair of shoes that I obviously already decided not to buy. It would be far more valuable if Zalando surfaced me with trend insights, or maybe knows that I have a wedding coming up and shows me exactly the shoes that match my style. And with automation and digital design comes that we take inspiration from good examples, and we see that everything is starting to look the same. So I'd like to quote my favorite creative that I know, Sir John Haggerty. It's really about creativity. So I think we can all agree that every business needs digital transformation, but what humans need is a human connection. And to make relevant products and services, of course, those businesses need data and insight, because otherwise they don't know what we want. And like we talked on before, people want that feeling of comfort and trust. We strongly believe if you can create a valuable brand experience and a true connection with the brand, you become less reliant on Google. Yeah? For example, you need a funeral service. Then at the moment you start Googling, you already want your brand in the brains of your customers. And we think that if we create very relevant content and services for people, you can gain that mind position. So again, business, data and insight, and people, trust and control. We see an opportunity in this when you combine both needs. And we call that opportunity digital hospitality. That doesn't mean every brand is going to be a hotel, but we got really inspired by traditional hospitality values. Hospitality is all about setting the right environment, making people comfortable, entertain them, take away their worries, surprise them every time, ensure to create an experience after which you long for the next one with this brand. Also, in hospitality, the digital and the real world have been joined for a long time already. You book a travel to somewhere, you have to check into your hotel. So there's a lot of digital, physical inspiration from this world as well. And what's the difference with service? Hospitality is that extra layer that makes people feel really good. Together with a master graduate of the TU, the University of Delft, we've done field and desk research on what are the success factors for this nice brand experience. So we've looked at models for customer experience and also brand values. And we created this model with 6 pillars. First one, empathic. Well, I think after all the other talks, this one is a really clear one. We need brands to know what we want, know what we need, and also know when not to be there. Sometimes you don't want to be aware of the technology that's going on around you. Proactive, you want to create services that people want before they even know they want it. Like in this case, Spotify Discover, really nice insight that now you're not have that stack of CDs anymore. You still want to discover new music, and Spotify is helping you with this. Intuitive, oh, sorry, that's a very clear one. You have to know how to use it before, without a brand explaining it to me how to use it. Dynamic, how people use your service and the technology you can apply is changing all the time. So as a brand, you have to adapt your service literally around what people are doing and what technology makes possible. And this can be a challenge to create a consistent brand experience. So for that, you really need to know what the core of your brand is. So you need to define guiding principles so that you know which innovation really matches your brand and which innovation doesn't really suit you. And also to create interfaces, even if it's only a sound interface, that has the right personality for your brand. And you have to innovate all the time because the surroundings are changing all the time, and because of that constantly rising expectation of people. We also developed a simple scan, and we see that when you do the scan or when you run brands through the scan, a lot of a lot of brands either perform on the brand people side of the model, and other brands are really good at the technology part of the model. And when you do the scan, we've learned that if you do the scan with different people from, for example, technology or marketing, creative, you have a really good starting point to discuss where your brand is going in the digital era. So if you want, call us and then we can let you use the scan with your co-workers from different disciplines and have a discussion about how important is innovation for our brand, or how important is a dynamic design for our brand. And how good are we doing now? Can we make it more personal, more entertaining, more easy? Some cases we're working on. We could not talk about Eindhoven Airport since we're in Eindhoven. And I have two cases for you where we show that technology and service design is about people, and it should be fun and easy to use. There's an insight for the Eindhoven Airport. I'm sorry, it's in Dutch still. But traveling can bring you a lot of stress, especially the travelers that go through Eindhoven Airport are usually not very experienced travelers. And they get stressed to be at the gate in time. And we want to make these people comfortable, because the more time they spend in the terminal, more interesting it is for the shops and retailers in the terminal. But also, from the people perspective, we want to make this a favorite airport where you feel really relaxed, instead of other airports where you don't really know how to time your travel. And this is the brand essence of Eindhoven Airport, and this is also inspiration for example, a service called Emma, which help you prepare your travel. And it's not the same for everybody. Like in the Tate Modern case, we have there you have several museum visitors. We identified together with the client different travelers, and we also know, when you use the service, if you've been traveling through Eindhoven before, if you're usually traveling for business or pleasure. So you get different content for every traveler. And this way you're really prepared. We're also still working on designs in the physical space of Eindhoven Airport. And one example is a table where you can easily move luggage from one suitcase to the other one. I don't know if you recognize this problem, but a lot of people, and the unexperienced ones even more, they discover that they have too much weight in their check-in luggage, and they have to put some more back in hand luggage, or the other way around. And it's always like sitting on the floor and stressing, and we make activities like that easier in the easy zone, which is still to be developed. Another case, International Film Festival. I don't know, who doesn't know the International Film Festival? Great. So then you all know that there's a lot of films. There's over 500 screenings in 10 days. And there's a lot of variety of people coming there, from Maxima to people just coming there to party. And the brand essence of IFFR is unforgettable. And that's translated into their programming, of course. All their films should be unforgettable. And also in experiments like this, the first vertical screening, and combining screenings with, in this example, an orchestra. And of course, in their unforgettable parties. And we also want to have people, we want people to have an unforgettable experience when they visit the festival and in their customer journey to the festival. So we created various ways of buying tickets. That sounds, again, like a simple plan, but in this case it's very complex because of the enormous amount of tickets you can buy and venues that are here. And one is just through the regular way, and this one is selecting your days and films that you want to watch, and then it makes a suggestion of your planning. And this last one is the first aid with film choice for people that really don't know how to find their way in the programming. And we also did that on Central Station in Rotterdam, so that's where digital and physical are literally coming together. And it's basically a simple Cosmo-like quiz, and it shows you films that match your mood and are still available. In the end, that results in your personal agenda, and then, of course, you go visit the festival. And then we enrich the festival vibe with this digital dashboard, where people experience the brand even further. And it's also interactive in a way because there's this emoticon film title quiz, and also we see when the screens are on in the big rooms, we see the activity on Twitter and Instagram go up. So it really affects the way people interact with the brand. And after you've enjoyed your movie, you might want to give your comment on it, and this is a content format we created. Men are crazy. And all that adds up, because we talked a lot about the people need here, but also the business need is being met because it's 42 increase of conversion rate. So the festival sells more tickets by it. So to recap, digital is a new status quo. It brings you more and deeper connections, more relevant connections. And your digital transformation will fail if you don't put humans first. And it also brings you a strategy that combines product leadership and customer intimacy and efficiency. So your brand has to adapt and change all the time, keep changing. And what it brings, like I said before, when you discuss the model with various disciplines, you get a discussion where people are put first. It's a real eye-opener when you go through the model with financial people, tech people, and creative people, and business people. And you all put that customer in the center of innovation. That's my talk, thank you.
Thank you, Marlies. Let's stay in the spotlights here. You presented 6 pillars, was it pillars?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was innovation or being innovative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit like cursing in church probably, but is being innovative a goal in itself? Should it be?
Increasingly, because everything is innovating around us, so expectations of people are increasing. But the way you innovate and what you innovate is different for every brand.
Because for example, Marktplaats,
Mm-hmm.
it looks the same for 20 years. I know it's not really true because it changes slightly, but still, I like it because it's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they start innovating and doing crazy stuff, maybe then I don't like it anymore.
But they are innovating. Maybe it looks the same, but the back end is innovating all the time, and they create new services. And so the look and feel is still authentic to the brand, but they are innovating all the time.
Okay, and when we talk about design, you said, and I know this I know this experience. A lot of people start using Google when they look for a service, but you said actually the design should be more important instead of that we work on search engine optimization, etc. So there's sort of a battle between a nice website maybe to make it really flat, good-looking website, and how you score in Google. That's a tough enemy, right?
Yeah, but I think if you combine those needs and battles, or it's not a battle, but it's a win opportunity.
Yeah, but let's say you have this beautiful website and I have an ugly one with cheap products.
Yeah.
But I have these guys that make sure I'm on top of the Google rankings every day. So I still get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
While you have the better website.
Yeah, that's the proactive pillar. Which is also about campaigning and let people know that you exist. Yeah, you have to be found by Google, but also you have to be in the lives of people and create service.
You have to get there first.
Sorry?
You have to get there first in my life.
Yeah, you have to get there first. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's if you only rank high in Google and then in the end have a crap experience, it won't work.
People won't stick.
Yeah.
And do you think, because in the examples like Airbnb, etc., you like the service because the website looks so nice, I think, because if I book the room using another website, it's still the same room, so the end experience is same, but the booking experience is way different.
Yeah.
Can all brands do that, or is that really for the people that love Apple and Nike, etc., the more expensive products?
You mean if people...
I think when people say I love beautiful products, it's always because they can afford an Apple MacBook for $1,500, and other people say, I love nice products also, but they're just too expensive. So is it income? Is it related to?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The rise of expectation, because everyone is used to this now.
Well, everyone in our surroundings, but not so many people use it. If you look at the numbers, not so many people can afford the iPhone 6.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not
Globally.
talking about the 6 specifically, but nice product design. That's the thing we're used to now. I agree that there's different lifestyles and different customer segments, of course. Yeah. And maybe even customers that really love retro.
Yeah.
So, of course.
So let's take Zeeman, for instance. Should they invest heavily in lovely design, or is it just a waste of money because people that go there because the products are not expensive? That's actually my question.
Good question. No, I don't think that every brand should do that. And it could be a strategy to just keep it very basic. But I'm sure even Zeeman is investing in Wi-Fi tracking, for example. So you won't maybe experience it. Same as Marktplaats. Yeah. You won't experience it.
Or the macro. It still smells like the 70s, but that's on purpose probably.
But they are innovating, I'm sure.
Okay, so we should keep that in mind. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.